The Onion Premier feels that his health is deteriorating on account of his endless travels. And of course, in the past few years, he has taken the help of his lookalikes to take his place in the bilateral and multilateral meetings. And he was sure that the foreigners would not be thoroughly checking up their biometrics to identify the person. And therefore, this time he decides to send one of his lookalikes to a bilateral meeting approach. And therefore, and this time he decides to take uh, rest and recuperation in the hills of Siliguri. Siliguri is a very fond place for him. In fact, West Bengal has come into his books of late, and many of the places he decided to visit for some reason or the other, and especially the hill stations. So, therefore, being tired and aging has made him to take such decisions. But when he has got into the seat, when he has taken that position as a premier, I was not very young, but he had the agility, the energy to travel, to talk endlessly and sleep for few hours. But this was not the day for him to travel. And therefore he was going in the car to the Siliguri hill station, and his lookalike was seated in the aeroplane to fly to one of the foreign countries' location to take part in the bilateral meetings. And of course, the premier was blessed with the fact that he had a lot of lookalikes, a lot of people who can imitate like him, exactly his own voice, and therefore he had the buffers who can protect him. These were the buffers that came from. So, climbing the Siliguri hills and things, that's okay. Is it a place growing tea plantations? But Darjeeling is known for that. Even Siliguri, of course, is a place where there are government buildings, government offices, quarters, and army units, army's engineering units. So he goes up to the hill station and gets to his bungalow and is very happy, relaxed man, and is mentally at peace that he need not discuss about vexing problems or goods. And in fact, in India, of course, there are a lot of problems, issues arise, and domestic problems they do not discuss with the foreigners. They are also not much concerned about that. But the meetings, there is a subject matter to be discussed, and you cannot take sides. There is such a problem, and this time is very much relaxed, and he enjoys his hour in the Bangalore, and he takes his cozy seats and puts on the TV in front of him. TV, computer, everything is embedded because he's a premier and he has to have all the facilities. And now a thought comes over to him that he has been appreciated that in the social sites he's got a large number of followers, and he has overtaken all the other people, other world leaders, other world leaders, and is the first amongst them. And he wants to thank his followers, but in fact he doesn't go through the social sites, because there is a team for him to look after that, and this is the time he can go through the post, and he wants to see what all the posts his followers put, not only his followers, all the people who name the premier on some count or the other. But he cannot do it all alone because there is a lot of posts which he can do. He really will go mad searching for all the posts. Nowadays there is all artificial intelligence, and he desires to take help from artificial intelligence. So he opens his device and says, "Okay, I desire to see the posts that has named me. The social sites. Can you help me?" Artificial intelligence, okay, I can very well do that, no problem. Uh, because Premier has taken the high-end subscription. Artificial intelligence, of course, it will give him all the outputs. all the outputs, such everywhere, where in social sites, wherever Premier's name is there, pick out the letters which are of importance and sometimes not importance. Pick out the letters and it says, okay, you read it out for me. I'm relaxing. I just want to hear what the people have to say about me, what comments they have given, and everything, the good, the bad, the worst, whatever is written. And of course, I know that going a leader of the large country, I have to take flowers, buckets, and big bats as well. I cannot really escape big bats. And this and all are become common to me being in public life for so many decades. Decades. In fact, is the person who doesn't spare his opposition also. He is very vitriol words. So therefore, he doesn't care about that, what other people say, but he's on to his job. That way, he keeps his mentality. But now he's listening. And now the artificial intelligence starts reading out the letters one by one. And now, but listening to the letters, the PM goes into a slumber. A slumber is on place sleeping because normal days he has to get sleep only for 3 hours. Yeah, very important. So that was also spoiling his health, and now he's gone into slumber. So all the while that AI doesn't is not aware that PM has gone into slumber. So it goes on reading out the letters, and at one point of the time, the reading stops. The PM awakes and says that AI has stopped reading. He asks, "What is the reason? Why have you stopped reading the letters? I was listening to you. I was in very, I was peacefully sleeping, but just because you were reading out the letter, I could stop reading the letter. I woke up. Now will I get back my peace again?" Artificial intelligence that you're not subscribed for this month. Okay, forget it to take subscription. And immediately PM goes out. PM goes out, washes his face, and he relaxes for some time and subscribes, and once again he gets into his cozy seat and asks the AI, okay, now you start reading out, but now his desire is to get back to slumber. And he believes that he is listening unconsciously to the letters, and is happy that way instead of consciously listening to the letters. Unconsciously is listening to it. The artificial intelligence this time starts with the first letter, which talks about a VRS applicant. VRS applicant has sent a letter to the Premier. He has sent a letter to Narendra Modi, and he has addressed him by his name on. Well, see, I'm bringing to your notice that I have applied for VRS, and in fact, this has been your initiative. Your initiative instructed the public sector employees to take VRS and speed up the process. But in my case, you see, I've been waiting for 1 month after sending the VRS application. But in fact, I did not get an acknowledgement or a reply on the status of my application. But when inquired, they intimated that the correct form was not sent. In fact, after I sent the correct form, still it was stagnating at that end. And you must be aware, you should be knowing that this is not the proper procedure. Besides, I was supposed to be a place 500 kilometers away from the hometown. 500 kilometers. And in fact, VRS, the rules say that VRS or even for that matter retirees, even for that matter retirees working 500 kilometers or for that matter 100 kilometers away can take their retirement at the local branch at the place of their hometown. But this also has not been added when I contacted the head office. And this is quite a serious matter, and this requires your attention. You have to take steps to curtail this type of crimes from occurring. PM is Ramesh, what is this? It says crime and other things. There are a lot of other grievances, and you can as well go to that. And it's coming to me. I'm a very busy person. I get a lot of such letters from the aliens, even from abroad. The people come to know that I am abroad and contact me directly. I do not know how. We get letters. We get a lot of letters, and it's. Then it says, okay, get on with the next letter. Or the A says, what reply can you give to this person? Reply? This is a common thing happening in this country. What reply can be given for that? There's no requirement for replying that letter, and you carry on. There is further to this. Then you can read out the full letter. So to get that, to know the status, I had to travel for 500 kilometers. Even telephone calls were not unattended. They're not replying properly. So what to do? There was no go. 1 month I waited, another month after sending the correct application form, and therefore I am. I had to travel for 500 kilometers to get the status, and not just once, twice, thrice I had to travel. More than once I had to travel. So you're the right person to put things in the proper perspective. You cannot ignore this. You cannot ignore this. It's a serious matter. We have loves. What is this? Everything is a serious matter. A person feels that it's serious. Everyone feels their problem is the serious one. And whole India, a lot of problems are there. And of course, we are all trying to rectify them. Rectify them. But anyway, he's interested in reading, going through the next letter. He wants to see as many letters, hear as many letters as possible. But the A says, what reply shall I give once again? Can I send the reply by registered post? Can I send the reply by email? Can I send by reply by any other mode? And it's waiting. What is this? Curious to know about that. PM replies, okay, registered post. A registered post. Shall I draft the letter, or are you going to draft? Okay, you only draft. Well, I will draft the letter because I have the applicant's grievance here, and therefore I will draft the letter without any grammatical mistakes. I'm surprised. Okay, there's not going to be any grammatical mistakes. In India, who cares for that? They don't see all those grammatical mistakes. They go through the letters. A lot of thoughts cross his mind, and he's sort of agitated. He was in a blissful mood, and now he has to reply to the social post letter, and he says, okay, anyway, draft the letter. Let me check it. And the AI drafts a very good letter, and says you can read the letter and tell me. And it gives three options, three letters it has drafted in a fraction of a second. In a few minutes it has drafted, you can say. And three letters, choose one of them. So I have to read all the three letters and choose one of them. There are a lot of other letters to be read. You only choose the best amongst them. And so it says, okay, I will choose it for you. And now get it printed. Because you have to send the hard copy. Registered post means hard copy. So it gets the printout, PM takes it and puts it in a cover, envelope, pastes that. It says address. I have the address of the applicant. How is it? How is it collecting everything, even the address? And so the AI types the address also and says, okay, now the envelope is ready. How do you want to send the letter? Or whether you want to send it by registered post, speed post, or ordinary post. So speed post is this. Okay. And PM, of course, artificial types speed post on the envelope. And now that only now it is ready. Somebody has to take it to the post office. And now, can we call the agent, or are you willing to carry the letter yourself? Questioner, So very nice question as you're asking, but I like to go myself. And right now I will walk up to the post office. How can you walk up to the post office? You cannot be getting out with this dress of yours, uh, trademark dress of yours. Trademark. The people are under the impression that his premier has gone abroad to attend the multilateral meetings, and every media channel, all the media channels are have broadcasted this. Newspapers, TV channels, everything. What is the issue? I don't know. Even then, you cannot go with the trademark dress. People will easily recognize. Now you change it. What dress? Then I think you must be having the Gurkha dress in your wardrobe. Certainly it will be there. Siliguri. If you don't have that Gurkha dress, where will you be having? So PM checks up and says, okay, Gurkha's uniform is available. Wear it. So without the hat he comes. You wear the hat, that is very important. Where is the knife? On your waist. Keep the knife on your waist. So okay, he keeps the knife on the waist and say put on the boots. So all the instructions it gives one by one because he's forgetting what to do, what to do. Boots, so he wears the boots. PM is not used to wearing heavy boots. He was wearing very soft shoes. And now for the first time he wears the boots. And says, shall I go walk down to the letter, walk down to the post office with the letter. I appreciate you look very young. You don't look like a 70-year-old. You look like a 20-year-old teenager. 20-year-old? Okay. Very nice of you to say that with that, but don't remove the hat also. Or the uniform should be on you. Don't remove the boots, hats, anything, even the knife. And you pretty well know that once you take out the knife from your swan, without blood, you should not keep it back. You know about the Gurkha's rules. When he says, well, how do I expect it? I was a very busy person, and rules and regulations and all. The people are there to tell me. People are there to tell me about the rules. People are there to tell me about the legal legalities, the sections, other things. So small things also I have to. My staff is there, but in any case, I am aware of all these things. So about this knife and all, surprising. That means the knife will be rusting in their pouch. Knife will be rusting in their pouches. The artificial doesn't answer it. Okay, you can take the letter to the post office. Gurkha carries the letter and walks out to the post office. And inside the post office, surprised to see the large queue there. What is this queue? I'm surprised to see the queue because everything is privatized and there are a lot of couriers. When the couriers are there, I was expecting that the post office crowd will not be there. But here also people are carrying. What are they carrying? All of them are carrying envelopes, or all of them carrying letters, registered letters, just one single letter, but people are carrying parcels with them. Some of them have kept the parcel aside near the counter so that when they get near the counter they can lift it and give them. Some of them have already handed over to one of the staff. When we come near the queue, so they have already waited. And he learns that people are, there is a commerce, online commerce, and people are purchasing money, purchasing materials online. And so there is a parcel service to cater to this needs. So that's why the queue is big. But parcel service, separate queue should be there. At times even parcel service, speed post, everything is in one queue. Shortage of stuff. So Gurkha had no other go but to wait. And meanwhile he observes that one of the counter is, there is no queue. He goes on and inquires, can you take this letter here? Because there is a huge crowd there. No, queue there. No, you have to stand in the counter only. The counter clerk has gone for tea. How can I go for tea? Because there are customers to be attended. Large number of people are there. How can I go for tea? So the human requirement is every time they have to take tea only. Tea is the beverage of Indians. Tea is the beverage of Indians. Morning, evening, and in office times, any time when they get tired, attending to all the customers, one feels like taking a refreshment, and that tea is permitted now. So it goes on now. So of course the Gurkha goes on inquiring what is inquiring, but the counterclass keeps quiet. She pretends she cannot hear him. She attends to other work, and Gurkha has no other go but to get back to his queue. And looking around, he sees that there is a forex counter. Forex counter in post office. He's surprised. What is this? Banking counter in the post office. He's surprised. What is this? Retirees are coming to deposit their money. Every month they can take their interest. That's very important for them. Safekeeping as well as interest is slightly more than the bank deposit. So they come here and he sees that a lot of retirees are there, standing in queue once again, and agents are there at that counter because they are attending to the retirees agents and forex counter, and he decides to discuss with the forex counter. He's very happy, very happy. But people ask, well, have you been to foreign country? Yes. And you must be rich. No, I'm very poor. If you're poor, okay. Because poor or rich, nowadays all the Indians go to foreign countries, foreign countries. Somehow they have that money, flight and other things, and empty pocket also. Some people land. So have you landed with empty pockets? Definitely. I always land with empty pockets only, but I get sumptuous meals, good places to see, and a lot of friends. People laugh at him because they think, okay, he's a teenager and he talks that way. Fine. Then he goes to the forex counter, inquires about that, and he's very happy. He's very happy about that because a lot of Indians are going, and the forex counter is opened in post office. Post office. So the forex counter, he sees that the counter clerk has returned back and gets back to his queue. When he nears the counter, he hands over the envelope. The counter clerk says, "What is this? Everything name should be full. Narendra is a full name only. What else? But you have missed out the surname Modi. That's very important," he says. "I know you have been coming for a long time, and why are you missing the surnames this time only? Last time you returned." He is surprised. What is this? Maybe he is mistaken some other young Gurkha for him. So with hat and all, because maybe the counter clerk observes only the dress. He doesn't observe the person. So Gurkha dress, somebody comes, he thinks it's the same person. Maybe all the while only one Gurkha used to come there, Gurkha boy. So he was under that impression, and he says, "Okay, don't worry, I'll fill it for you." And he may be thinking that Gurkha like, sort of literate but quite illiterate to know everything, fill up the letters, address and other things. So he fills up Narendra Modi. Address I know where these people live, and he writes the address, full address. Then without contact number, how can you send? Without contact, so he writes, I know the contact number, and he writes. Gurkha is happy, he comes out, post office, gets back to his room, and he's in a happy mood, okay. And this is the end of the matter, in fact. At least he has attended one social site, replied to one of the social sites subscriber. So he wants to close this chapter, in fact. He wants to close this chapter, but he doesn't know doesn't know what will be the repercussion because the counter clerk has written Narendra Modi, Narendra Modi Prime Minister's address, his own contact number, and there are the sleuths who check up all these things because and in Bangalore incidentally that address is in some location in Banashankar. Banashankar, Bangalore is a very big area and there are a lot of localities, small localities in Banashankari, and that area is so when it reaches the post office, the sleuths come to know. And nowadays, because of artificial intelligence, they can check up the piles of letters, and check up the names. Artificial intelligence will check up the names. So this person's name, Narendra Modi, is there. It says, okay, one person he has replied to it. Sleuths are surprised because the person is not in the country, he's abroad. And now this particular letter, they check, go to the post office, take out the letter, and see that it is posted from a post office in Siliguri. And why should it be this particular letter is posted from Siliguri, and everything is there. And why should somebody post to Panishankari? Panishankari, so far that person is not posted. Premier has not posted that letter. So they decide to check up sleuths, and they don the uniform of postman and go to deliver the letter to his location. And the person comes out, collects the letter, and so the postman asks, see, you got a letter from the premier. Are you not surprised? Why should I be surprised? The premier thought, okay, I can write a letter reply. What is surprising thing about it? Surprising. The premier, he doesn't reply, he doesn't read even any letters. There were a team of people. So team must have written. No, I'm not asking about that. This letter, particularly, these people have opened the envelope and seen the letter also. So they know the contents. So the letter is in reply to your letter. Now, what kind of problems you have? Why did you write to the peer? And postman should know about all these things. People have got a lot of, so many, must be receiving a lot of letters, and it's not a big issue. So it's not a big issue, isn't it? I did not send him a registered or a speed post letter. Through the social site I sent him, and I was not very much sure that he will come through or his team will come through these letters. But incidentally, he happened to see that and he has replied through speed post. It's a good thing. And so very nice that is the premier the only person who write through the social sites seeking for some assistance, for help, or for something else. And people having taken social sites, a lot of things come about. They write all sorts of things, and you see, request for, but it goes unnoticed because everybody has the impression these things are happening. These things have taken the world by storm. In any case, postman, don't be annoyed that I'm asking. Oh, I'm not annoyed. I'm not annoyed. You're climbing 2 stories. Very good thing of you, because couriers come, they will call. The letters come and collect from the ground floor only. They will call. But you came all yes, because I normally deliver a letter at the doorstep, and even if it is. There are 4 or 5 stories without lift also I go. It's a very interesting thing. But any other person you have written, yeah, I requested another person from America. What is this? I've gone mad. Why should you request a person from America? People are giving, Americans are giving Indians a lot of employment. They're concerned very much with the administration. What is the issue? One thing is this person has replied, but I don't think they have come through the letter also. But in any case, mental moorings are there. So what is the issue? And it's clear to suppress what kind of person. He's writing all sorts of letters. It will not go there only through the social site. Social site permits people to do a lot of things. to a lot of things, maybe positive, negative, everything. And says, okay, it may be a boon for social side, may be a boon in disguise. It has got the opposite effect also. So be careful because you should not land in trouble. And you do believe that Premier has let certainly, otherwise Premier or his team, of course. So the Sleuths get back, but the Sleuths doesn't stop there. This is their first inquiry, and they wanted to check the post office. They have taken the timestampings. And they want to check up who has handed over the letter there, and they want to check up the full queue, who are all present at that particular time. Maybe a few minutes earlier, a few minutes just half an hour earlier, half an hour that side also. And not only in the queue, all the customers present in the post office. And sleuths have to do that job. And this is their job, and they are very much sure that Premier has gone abroad and somebody has played tranche, maybe. But this team was in England, but still they may not, they might not have written. Make sure they all get to the Siliguri. They get to the Siliguri hill station and they are on the way to the post office. For this part, this is enough.